Another thing that I wanted to address is as far as important things to do as being newly diagnosed is when you go to the doctor, if you're not going with someone, I recommend you bring somebody with you, because it's hard to remember everything that's being told, and having somebody else there will help, refresh your memory, take notes for you, that type of thing. But if you are going alone, make a list of questions that you want to discuss with your doctor, or anything that you want to discuss with your doctor. And like I said, your doctor should be able to spend the time with you and go over your concerns. And if they won't, find a different doctor. I cannot stress how important it is to have a good doctor. And they are out there, and I've been very fortunate and have had some really great ones. So, but be prepared for your appointments, and so that way you don't forget anything. And I just wanted to make sure that was one of the big things for being newly diagnosed that I recommend that you do. I know a lot of other people actually keep a daily log of how they're feeling, what their symptoms are and stuff, and I know it works for a lot of people. So if you're a person who is good at journaling and keeping track of stuff like that, I highly recommend it. I tried it. I usually forgot to do it. It's just not my personality. I've never been a good journaler or anything like that. But I also have my husband, who's a great memory for me for a lot of things. So there's that. Now that we've kind of discussed how you become diagnosed, or at least how I did. Everybody's story is different. And the main things that I think are important being newly diagnosed is get on therapy right away. Keep copies of all your medical records. Make sure to write your questions down, or bring somebody with you to your doctor's appointments. And be well informed. Do your research. Be proactive in your health. Be your best advocate. Now I want to talk about some of the stages that we all go through after being diagnosed. One of the members talked about grief, and I guess grief is loss of the person that you used to be. Now, I'm not saying that everybody is going to go through that. Some people are very fortunate and they have what is considered benign MS. Very limited as far as, symptoms that incapacitate you in some form or another. But a majority of us are going to become different people because we have to adapt. And that's really hard. And I remember I had some really, really dark times. And I kind of blocked some of that out. But when talking with my husband about doing this video, I asked him, do you think I went through a grief process or anything? And he was like, yeah, do you not remember? And I guess I can blame it on the MS or just not wanting to remember. But I remember I was having a lot of pain and just not coping well, and crying a lot, and getting just so frustrated that this is as good as it gets, was my, I guess, my big quote from that period. Was, you know, right now, how horrible I feel. This is going to be the best that it's going to be. It's downhill from here. And that, I guess, was a grieving process for myself, coming to terms with, I have to redefine who I am. I'm no longer the person that I was. And you know, it did get better once the initial relapse, you know, quieted down and I was able to work again. You know, those bouts of this is as good as it gets lessened. But whenever something ugly happened or reared its head again, I would go back to that. So that I'd like to say is totally gone, but it's not. It's still there. And when I'm having bad days, it's exceptionally hard. But I think that's normal. And I don't know if years from now it'll be any different, because I don't know what's going to happen to me. And that brings me to the next topic, which is depression. I have never been a person who really had issues with depression. And so having MS, we are more likely to get it. First, because we're diagnosed with a progressive degenerative disease that we have no idea what's going to happen to us. And partly because we can have lesions in our brains that affect the way we process information and our emotions. So we're at a much higher risk for depression just to begin with. So that's been hard for me. And, you know, like I said, I've always been kind of a control freak about things, and I've always been told by other people that I'm a very strong person. And, you know, sometimes you don't want to be that strong person. You want to give in to it. And it's so hard to fight yourself out of it when you're so down and when everything looks so hopeless. But this is where I think it's very important, once again, that you are honest with your doctor and you let them know. Because there's no reason to suffer any more than you already have. There are medications out there that can help. And then there's a lot of natural things that you can do that apply to anybody with depression, whether you have MS or not. You know, physical exercise is a really good thing for depression. I don't know if it's, you know, getting those endorphins going or whatever, or losing weight, you know, being a woman, you know, I'll admit it. I dropped some pounds. I'm like, hey, I feel pretty good today. You know, I always make jokes about, you know, all the medications that at least I've been put on, side effect, weight gain. Heaven forbid I get a, you know, something where it's side effect and weight loss.